Last summer, my next guest was in a motorcycle accident that could have easily ended her life. But she recovered, and she set her life in a new direction and wrote 2 books that show others how to survive and thrive. She goes by just Bree, and her book, How to Shake the Ass Out of Your Life, was the first one. You didn't know what I was going to say on that, did you?
I didn't.
I did. Here's the cover of her book, so you get the full gist of it. Oh, it's okay to show. Yeah, okay. Anyway, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm well. I'm so glad that you're here and that you're recovered like you did.
Yes, it was a lot, but we were okay, and it could have been a lot worse, so we look at the bright side of that.
Absolutely. You and your partner were in this motorcycle accident. Was he injured as well?
Yes, he actually went down with the bike, and he had road rash all over his sides, his arms, everywhere. It was rough. If you've never seen anybody take a shower with road rash, it's pretty rough.
The road rash, I've heard, is awful. I'm going to show this little picture. I'm going to leave this picture up, you guys. Look, this is little Bree. And you grew up where, Bree?
I grew up in Eldridge,
Okay,
Iowa.
so you're a local girl.
Yes.
This is actually, I'm showing this second book that you wrote because this is the Young Writers' Day. This is kind of fragile minds and the adults that mold them.
Yes.
Yes. So you have a lot to say here. But the fact that you wrote 2 books within a year,
Yes.
you must have had these things in your head.
Yes, I have actually had big dreams of being an author since I can remember. Young Writers' Day was my favorite day of the year. I've been writing a long time. But I was in my way a lot because I just didn't think I could do it. I was just a normal Midwest girl. I didn't have a team behind me. I didn't have anyone that I could look to and say, hey, who do I talk to? Who do I go to? And so I would write, but then it would seem so overwhelming, and I was so afraid of the critics and what would happen that it held me back for a long time.
You're not afraid anymore.
No, not at all.
I can see. And was it prompted by the accident?
Really a lot of it was. It was just something about getting thrown off a motorcycle, and it makes you really look at life a little differently.
Oh my goodness. Bree, we are looking at these pictures from your book tour that you did.
Yes.
So you traveled all over with your book.
Yes.
Not in our area. You went throughout the north, you said?
The Northwest.
Northwest,
So
okay.
we were all over. We were down by Sturgis, and we went through Colorado. We were in California. We were all over. We started off in Minnesota, Minneapolis, and it was just a lot of fun. We gained a lot of confidence. We really had to go in and just sell ourselves on it. So it was a good time.
Well, your book is unusual in that it's, when I was going through it, I just felt like I was talking, I don't know you personally, but I felt like I did get to know you in just reading a few pages, because this is like just like a conversation.
Yes.
With a friend.
Yes.
Or with, and also the way the book looks. I'm just going to go ahead and show you this. You don't have any page numbers or chapters. It's just little snippets of thoughts, but they're very profound.
Yes.
And I think simplicity is always most profound. So I'm going to read this passage right here. There is a lesson in everything. The sooner we shift our focus off the things that are wrong and into what we gain, the better we recover. The faster things move, the more our lives fill with purpose, the more fulfillment we feel. It may not look like anything we pictured. I am living proof that you will love it even more than you could ever have dreamed.
Yes. Oh, I got goosebumps again, just like hearing that.
Her own words gave her goosebumps. How do you like that? So what you're saying here is that you're glad that accident happened.
Yes, I think it needed to happen. I think that life has been waiting a long time for my partner and myself to really step up and do what we're here to do. And man, it's been great.
Bree, I think what tops that is that you think we all have that.
Yeah, I really do. I think every single person has it, and that was why the accident looks the way it does. I wrote it the way that I did so that everyone knows you have a very unique story. And if you can find a way to use that and to share it, you have a whole audience out there who will be inspired, who will spark from that, who will do a world of good off of just knowing your story. I have people that read this, even though it's about jobs, even though it's about a motorcycle accident, they will call me up and say, I went to my relationship with my sister. It made me want to live my life again. It made me rethink about everything I'm doing. It's not just that. It takes them to their own personal place in their life.
That's what authenticity does. That's what connection does, right? Isn't that crazy? You don't have to have a motorcycle accident.
Yeah.
You don't have to have cancer.
Yeah.
Whatever your story is. And then in this book, you mention sometimes we still mess up when we're trying to do better. Our trauma can be passed on to others. We can inflict new trauma. That's why it's so important that we heal, that we recognize it for what it really did to us so that we can find out what it can do for us.
Yes.
That's probably the biggest lesson of both of these books. And Bree, you found your voice in writing, for sure.
Yes.
And if you're thinking, I want to get to know that girl and read that book, or maybe read the one called How to Shake the Ass Out of Your Life, just Bree, HLC.com. And there's everything you'd ever want to know. And I think I could fill a show with just Bree, but for now, we'll put a pause in it, put a pin in it, and revisit it someday soon. God bless you, Bree. Just
too.
Bree. You're more than just. You're the ultimate Bree.
Well, thank you. Thank you.